Hello everyone, my name is Danish Ahmad.
My name is Muhammad Brazilian everybody.
And today we're going to present our recent project, which is called the Carbon Counter, and we are from the Danish Bhre team. Our theme for this project is climate action and responsible consumption. And here's both of us work, and let's get started.
Carbon Counter. With our motto, minimize your carbon emission, love the earth more. This program will calculate and analyze the amount of CO2 you produce from the electronics we use at home. It can also calculate the amount of trees that needs to be donated to reach the carbon equilibrium. This program can also raise awareness and help you to build a good habit on your electricity usage. We use laptops and calculators to help our calculation and design this project.
And here we have one of the glimpse of our project Carbon Counter. And so what is our main problem on making this project? So we are from Indonesia, and electricity used at our homes are often come from coal-fired power plants, or known as PLTU in Indonesia. These plants burn coal, producing carbon dioxide as a byproduct. When households use this electricity for their daily needs, the demand on coal increases and result in higher CO2 emissions. This process releases significant carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to air pollution and global warming. Transitioning to renewable energy sources and increasing energy efficiency are one of the ways that can reduce these emissions.
Solution. By making this program, we will aid people to calculate their contribution to carbon emission, then the number of trees to absorb all the carbon outputs from our program. The carbon output is from the amount of electricity the consumer uses daily. We also build people's awareness to always reduce carbon emission.
And so let's get head straight to our project. And here is our project, and which is the carbon counter, and let's get started. So our project carbon counter is to calculate the amount of trees needed to be donated to maintain these carbon dioxides. And the amount of carbon dioxide here are based on the number of watts that we use daily on our electricity usage. For this instance, for the trees, we use the oak tree. And so this project will ask many questions on how long or how long the period of us use these electricity on daily scale. So for example, this first question, how long do you use your AC in a day? I answered 7 hours. And so the program will calculate how much watts that the electronics use on this 7 hours usage. And there are also many other electronics like chargers, heaters, and fridge. And all of these electronics are counted on the amount of hours we use daily. And so another unique part of this program is before they ask you the question, they will provide you information on how many watts do each electronics use every hour. And this will also help on calculating the amount of CO2 we produce every day from our daily usage of electricity. And so from our scientific data, every 1,000 watts produces 0.481 kilograms of CO2, which then the program will calculate the total of these CO2 emissions. And one oak tree can absorb up to 25 kilograms of CO2 every year. So the daily absorption of these CO2 in each oak tree is 0.15 kilograms. And so the amount of CO2 we produce daily is 17.34 kilograms. And also from our inputs, the amount of trees that we need to donate to reach these carbon equilibriums is 117 oak trees.
After we get the results from the original application, the program will redo the entire simulation to help you reduce the amount of carbon emissions we do until we reach a baseline of a minimum of at least 50% reduction.
So after we input once again the program will now calculate the new amount of CO2 and the new amount of trees needed to be donated to reduce and reach the CO2 equilibrium. And so this new program will only can stop if the new inputs we've done and the new total CO2 is below 50% of the original emissions. And so the program will output that we haven't reached the reduction goal and we need to improve ourselves on using electricity. So we need to reduce the carbon production in your house. And to do so, we have to reduce it even more. And so in this instance, the amount of CO2 that we input are less than 50% of the CO2 before. And on these program input, there are over 10 different electronics that we need to input to determine on how much total of the CO2 we produce daily from these electronics. And so with the new amount of CO2 we produce daily now is 3.86 kilograms, which is 50% less than before, which is 17.34 kilograms. And so the program ends by thank you for using this program. And it also increases the awareness to protect and save the earth. And there are many existing solutions before. Like carbon counter is based on the idea of carbon trading, where carbon trading is the buying and selling of trees to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It is also known as carbon emissions trading or carbon markets. Carbon trading is usually used in big market companies, like some existing solutions being IDS Carbon and Carbon Trade Exchange.
What makes us better than our competitors? Carbon Counter is a program that calculates the amount of carbon we use and how many trees need to be planted. Carbon Counter makes it easier for people to understand how much carbon their households contribute to the earth. Additionally, the program raises awareness that we must reduce carbon emissions. By targeting the individual households, we can make our program much simpler, accessible, and quickly spread awareness to a wider community.
And our next plan on this project is to make the program more beneficial by socializing our coding program to several places that we have previously planned. Our previously planned destinations are such as creative schools and several other communities that we can help on increasing the awareness and also build a good habit on using electricity. And that is our overall presentation on our project coding, our project carbon counter. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Once again, I am Danish Amasatria.
I am Muhammad President Pribadi.
And we are young innovators. Thank you.